Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Business Minds Kids, where we train the queens and kings of the future. Today we'll be here with Mr. Steve Warren, a financial advisor at Capstone Financial. Take it away.
Okay, my first question is, at what age did you become financially responsible?
I think it started for me pretty early. I was always kind of doing little things to make money when I was a kid. So it sounds kind of bad now, but I was like selling candy and stuff like that in school. I actually got in trouble for it. But I would like sell bubble gum and stuff like that to my classmates when I was your age. And then when I went to high school, I started working when I was like 13 years old, got my first job. Uh, my mom, I always wanted like the Jordans and fancy clothes and all that. My mom she wasn't doing it. So she was like, I'll give you some money, but you want something else and you're going to have to pay for it yourself. So that's what really kind of drove my uh, desire to be financially responsible. And so I just started working at Subway when I was 13 and been working ever since. So it's just something that I always wanted to um, learn more about money, how money works, and how to have my money work for me while I'm out here working hard for my money.
My next question is, do you think that people have the ability to be their own financial advisor?
Well, the way I view it, having a financial advisor is just like having a primary care physician, right? Which is like the doctor that you go to. I think everybody should have one. Well, yeah, just like you can take good care of yourself, you can eat healthy, you can do research and make sure that you're staying on top of things for your health. But it's also good to go to work with a primary care physician, someone who has went to school for this stuff and learned, has some licenses, and they might give you another perspective and might give you something else to think about. And what I found is like it's always good to work with people who understand what it is that they need to do, but they might not know exactly how to do it, or they might necessarily have the time to spend to do it properly. So that's why it's good to work with a financial advisor, even if you understand how to invest and all those things, because this is someone who this is what they do full time while you might be a doctor or a lawyer or a CEO, right? Running your own company, you might not have the time to constantly be on top of different things. So it's always good to focus on what you're trying to do and then hire good people to do the rest of the stuff that needs to be done for you. That's what CEOs do, right? They find smart people and they delegate those tasks to those people. So having a financial advisor is very similar to that.
And my next question is, what advice would you give to kids middle school age and younger from the point of view of a financial advisor?
And know how to create a budget and save money, and then also learn about investing in the stock market. And so the best way to do that is there's a website called Investopedia. I don't know if everybody's heard of Wikipedia, but Investopedia is a great website, a great resource to learn about investing. They have all types of information on there. Uh, you can, they have like simulations where you can like pick out different investments and invest like $100,000 of fake money. It's just like a video game or a game. And then, you can kind of track your performance. And they actually have contests where if your portfolio outperforms everyone else's, you win real money. So there's some cool things on that website. It's a wealth of information, and if you really want to learn about investing, that's the best way to do it. And then if you want to do a budget, it's very simple. You can like go online and find a bunch of budgets that work for you. But those are the two things I would say.
Good morning. My name is Noah Jackson, and first of all, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you guys? How is everybody doing?
Well, I'm doing great. So, I'm going to be moving on to my first question, which is you elaborated on this a little bit more when we first met you. So, what is Gen Wealth? What is Generation Wealth? Hmm.
Generational wealth is wealth that um, can be passed down from one generation to the next. So you know the difference between being rich and being wealthy, right? Okay, what is the difference between being rich and being wealthy?
Well, my difference is being rich is having above average of money, and being wealthy is having enough money to feed yourself and all of that.
What I would say is being rich is just having enough for the moment. Just having enough for that moment. But generational wealth is when you're wealthy, you're able to pass it along to decades and decades of people because you've built some type of a system, like a
Okay.
pipeline of a sort.
Is having whatever amount of money you consider being rich, and that's just in your bank account. But being wealthy means that it's it's in your family, like your family's also rich, like everybody's rich. Yeah, that's what I think wealth
Okay.
is. Or to
Yeah. I think those are all good definitions. I think it's a combination of all those things. It's definitely having enough money where you can pass it down from one generation to the next. It doesn't have to necessarily mean millions and millions and billions of dollars, but it has to start somewhere. But generational wealth, and it could also be different assets. It's not just money. It could be real estate. It could be land. It could be, different artwork, just being able to take assets from one generation and pass it down to the next. That's what generational wealth is, and it's something that can help the next generation have a better life.
My next question is I'm just going to give you a warning that these questions are a bit generic, but it's very important for me. So, my next question is what is your job like as a financial advisor?
My job as a financial advisor is very rewarding. It can be difficult at times. Basically, what I do is I just try to talk to people about their money and get them to trust me so that way I can help them grow their money. So, what I have to do is go to different, cold call people or go to networking events or do seminars, do whatever I can do to get in front of people and answer their questions and figure out where they are today and what they want and where do they want to go. And then we come up with a plan unique for their situation to get them from where they are to where they want to be. So that's kind of what my job is. It can be tough because anytime you're doing sales and you're dealing with people, it can be a little challenging, but I wouldn't trade it. I love it. And I love the opportunity to help people.
So, my final question is what was your I heard that you had your first job when you was 13. So, what was your first job like?
I was working at Subway. I was making sandwiches for people and just doing everything that comes with working at Subway. It was cool. I just used to ride my bike to work every day, and it was busy at times, but I did what I had to do, and I was able to make a little bit of money. So that was always good. I just really wasn't aware of like investing back then. So I spent my money on stuff like clothes and sneakers, Jordans, things like that. But in reality, looking back, I wish I would have invested, and I would have had a lot more money now than what I currently do if I was able to do that. So.
Well, we be transitioning to Omari with the closing. So, go take it away, Omari.
Alrighty. Well, we have a question coming in from Janaya. What do you have to say when someone's investing that you don't agree with?
Well, at the end of the day, it's my client's money. I try to let them know what I think is best and why. And hopefully, I'm using logic and data and not just emotions. And that way, I've always feel like when you make decisions, especially important like financial decisions, based on logic and data instead of just like emotions like fear or greed or anything like that. you tend to make the best decisions. So that's what I try to do is say, hey, logically, this is why I am uh, recommending this. And then, if they say, well, but I think this will work, I can say, hey, at the end of the day, this is your money. This is what, you worked hard for. And this is why I'm telling you this based on X, Y, and Z. Um, but it's up to you to make the decision. Once again, like I was saying earlier about having a financial advisor, it's good to have a professional, right? So that way, hopefully you'll take the professional's advice. Just like if you go to the doctor and, the doctor says, you need to take this medication because this is what I see going on in your body. And you can take the medication or not. It's up to you. But the doctor has recommended it, and so you should probably trust the doctor. That's kind of why you go to the doctor. So same thing. So if I give someone a recommendation and they choose not to take it, then I can document that. Say, hey, I talked to this person. I recommended this. They decided to do this. Then that's all you can really do.
We could give you a proper farewell. We're here with Mr. Steve Warren. He is a financial advisor at Capstone Financial. We've learned today that he is like a doctor in a sort. He gives people advice, and they can choose to take it or not. But he is a professional. We've learned a lot about his business spirits due to the fact that his first job was at 13 years old, working at Subway.
To all those people who are in areas where there are confirmed cases of the coronavirus, and I want everybody to stay safe while still going on and living their normal lives. Don't do what the professionals recommend. Don't over exaggerate the situation or panic.
For the homeless, because we never think about the homeless. Like when situations happen, we never think about the homeless or what they have to go through in those situations. So I hope the homeless is doing okay and not catching the disease themselves.
Well, my well wishes go out to all the families out there that are stuck at home with one another.
I want to send a well wish out to everybody in the world. I know this is just something that's really affecting every person on this planet in one way or the other. So hopefully, the country and the world can come together and find a cure, and just hopefully, use this time to really get closer with our families and try to put aside differences to make the world a better place.
And that's it for Business Minds Kids today, where we train the queens and kings of the future.